Welcome to the Spotlight Series. I'm your host, Scott Nerney. We are live on location this week. Don't forget, while you're watching this, click that subscribe, that share button, that forward button, and especially to anyone that is in the Providence area, because you're going to want to hear what this fantastic librarian has to talk to us about. Laken from the Community Libraries of Providence, welcome to the Spotlight Series.
Thank you so much.
So tell us a little bit about yourself before we talk about the library.
Sure. I have been working with the Community Libraries of Providence for about 10 years. I just had my 10-year anniversary a few weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's why I'm wearing my old-fashioned shirt. Now we're the Community
Throwback
Libraries.
week, yeah.
Right. I worked at the Fox Point branch for a few years, and then I moved to Rochambeau, and I've been at the Rochambeau location since then. I'm a youth services specialist. I started out as a paraprofessional, but I just got my library degree last summer, so I'm a librarian with a great organization.
Great. Very nice. So you worked your way through the ranks?
I did. I mean, kind of.
Yeah. No,
Here I
that's
am.
great. So tell us a little bit about the Rochambeau branch.
Sure. I love the Rochambeau neighborhood. I've lived here for a few years. We have a lot of babies. It's a very popular location for like parents with kids about 0 to 12, honestly. Our mornings are packed. We have great storytime attendance. We do a lot of really fun programs geared to like small people, but we also get good after school crowds. We do a lot of art programs. We have some special events. We're having lizards come in a few weeks,
Wow.
which lizards at the library are always a great draw. And we have also a pretty big multilingual community, so we have a lot of families who speak various languages. We have good language sections of books. But yeah, that's a little bit of our branch. We do a lot of great things.
And what's a typical day for you?
Oh, it could be anything. That's kind of the joy and struggle of being a librarian, I think, is that in whatever role you have, you're always it's wherever the day might take you is unknown. So on a day, I might be helping someone sign up for the preschool lottery, or we might be, getting someone signed up for the newsletter, or talking about programs for their 3-year-old and their 5-year-old and their 12-year-old. We do a lot of book talks. We help people pick books for their kids. We run programs. We schedule events. It kind of, there's all sorts of stuff. Not many things are beyond the scope of our work, but that's kind of the fun of it, is that you don't know what you're going to do each day.
And talk about some of the special events that you do.
Sure. So we are doing, this month we do a lot of good collaborations with local organizations. So it's kind of far, but the Newport Contemporary Ballet is going to do a program based around the day the crayons quit, and they'll be coming in a few weeks to do like a ballet program with kids and a craft. We have a group of students from Brown University coming to do a STEM activity. I think they're making water surfing robots.
Wow.
It's going to be great. And then we have special story times. We're having a Ramadan story time coming up. What else do we have? We have the lizards, of course. The lizards are coming with the Reptile Nook on a Saturday. I forget the date. So yeah, all sorts of things. We try to get like a broad range of activities. So depending, your interests and the kids you have, you might come to lots of stuff.
And what's the typical age group that you're working with on a regular basis?
A lot of babies. We do have a very young population in our neighborhood. So a lot of like 3-year-olds and 2-year-olds. We have a lot of just like little people, usually. We have good after-school crowds, but our mornings are packed. That's kind of our busiest time, I think.
And it's important to show them that the community is here for them, and getting kind of like when you think of a small baby, getting a lot of different food tastes to see what they like.
Yeah.
Just seeing a lot of different things that we just can't teach them sitting at home or in front of a computer or
Absolutely.
Watching TV.
No, and I think a lot of parents and caregivers really appreciate the library as one of those like third spaces, like a place that's free and open to everyone. You can come, you can hang out, you can make new friends. You can also just like get out of your house and be in the world and like talk to other parents. I think that's really precious. And yeah, we have a really great, diverse community, and it's really cool seeing the friendships that kind of spring up between different families, because like you're sitting at the train table for 30, 40 minutes. It's very natural to like make a friend with a different parent and trade information. I think I've heard a lot of people share their experiences with schools and the playgrounds, just like helping each other out. It's a really beautiful spot to develop community.
And I was going to say, if you're dealing with kids that are 2, 3 years old, they're only a year old from going to preschool and kindergarten, which can be a very difficult separation for parents. And you're already able to help them say, oh, well, your friend so-and-so is going to be there, and they have that bond already.
Exactly.
And you could be 20, 30 years from now having kids that met at the library.
Exactly. That's a beautiful, I like to think that happens a lot because, yeah, I think people do form lifelong bonds at the community library.
Yeah. Great. So I know recently you were challenged, and a lot of the students you work with, for a art activity from the Rhode Island State Council of the Arts on a grant that they provided. So talk a little bit about that activity.
Sure. We do love a good art activity challenge. And yes, so recently we worked with Liliana Fijman to do a RISCA-funded grant project where the concept and the goal was to visualize and bring meaning to the concept of air and breath on the line. So we were trying to help kids kind of make this connection between air and this thing that, like, they're tiny. They really can't necessarily understand or grasp, but they know they're trying to communicate, like, this thing, it's all around you, and, like, we need it to live, and we're all, we all depend on this substance that we're all kind of, part of. And now to take that and try to put it on paper and make art. So it was a challenge. We have, like I said, we have a very young community, but I think the beautiful part of this project for us was that we focus a lot on not product-oriented art activities or crafts, but like process. So the joy and the fun and the discovery comes from really playing with the materials and getting involved and making something, even if you don't know what the final product will be. And I really liked that about this project was the fact that kids could kind of just create without any limitations with a limited amount of materials, but letting that creativity just flourish.
And did you notice as one's working on something, they see somebody doing something completely different, and now I like that? Absolutely.
It's a classic fad where, like, one kid makes a caterpillar, now everybody else must make a caterpillar. But yeah, we saw in this project where, like, one kid wanted to kind of like blow bubbles in the thing and then put them on the paper, but then another kid had put it on the paper, and like they learn from each other, and the parents are kind of helping and supporting, and then they see, oh, like, we could try that, and then they kind of like, oh, well, why don't we try this thing? We put the bubbles over here. Like, what if we kind of squish a few? Or there was one kid that kept poking the bubbles with a toothpick to kind of pop them, and like, not exactly the point, but like it created a different kind of art, and like that also, then another kid tried it. So yeah, you see them learning from each other and mimicking and adapting.
What was the feedback from the parents like?
They really liked it. It was really fun. I think, again, that like process-oriented art is really, it's just fun. It's more fun. It's engaging. Even the parents, I think, through this project were able to kind of, they got involved and they enjoyed the project too. Like, it's a fun thing to do with your kid. It's not something you would maybe do at home. It is a more elaborate activity, even though the material is relatively simple, and I think they enjoyed having a very novel experience.
And how many kids participated?
I think we had about 12 kids, like mostly
Nice.
Little ones, but kids and parents were participating, which was another beautiful thing, is that, not just like the kids sitting doing that, but like getting the parents involved and having the parents talk to them, and like the feedback between the librarians and Liliana and the parent and the kid all kind of working together was really cool.
And it's important, I think, to show the parent-child relationship as it comes to learning, because when they go to school, that part of that is missing.
Yeah.
They can help them at home, but you just assume that they're, heading on their own and they're learning. It's important to see that participation's happening.
Yeah, and to practice and just be with your kid. Get that nice chance to do something together.
Yeah. Well, you're doing fantastic work. So tell us a little bit about the gallery openings.
Sure. Okay. So the gallery opening will be on April 18th at 5 p.m. at the Sprout Gallery. And that will be your chance to see artwork from kids across the city from all 9 branches of the community library. But the artwork will continue to be displayed for the whole month. But we'll have very special activities on the 18th. So that's when you should stop by.
At 166 Valley Street, Building FM. For those scoring at home, we want them to come and take a look, see this fantastic art, see the work that you've done. I'm sure you'll be there to be proud of the students. And,
absolutely.
I think it'll be really exciting as they look up at their pictures and see, that's mine, that's my friend Jesse, that's, Bonnie's, and all the others that are there. And, to see the difference between each library, how they took the example.
Yes, absolutely. How the prompt kind of grew.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you
really
very much.
Appreciate it.